Welcome back to Mythic Sleep. I am young Homer, here to guide you through the closing chapters of Series 1, Origins, the birth and early life of Zeus in the rise and fall of Zeus, a timeline series. Tonight we enter the final stories of Zeus's beginning, a time when he moves from hidden strength to the awakening of his power, preparing for the moment he will rise and face his father, Cronus. These last 3 episodes lead us from the gifts of the gods to the gathering of allies, ending with a call to arms that will set the stage for Zeus's future. Settle in and close your eyes, if you wish, as we bring these early chapters to a close. Take a deep breath in, feeling the calm of the present moment surrounding you, and let it go, allowing your body to sink into gentle rest. Breathe in deeply, drawing in peace, feeling warmth settle over you. And as you exhale, release any tension, feeling your body grow soft and relaxed. Now, let the story begin. In episode 7, The Divine Gifts, Zeus's Thunderbolt awakens. Zeus receives a powerful gift from the Cyclopes, the gift of lightning, forged in the heart of the earth. This thunderbolt is unlike any power he has ever held. It crackles with ancient energy, its light a testament to the strength Zeus is meant to wield. With this thunderbolt in hand, Zeus begins to feel his destiny calling him, a power stirring within that is as fierce as it is mysterious. But will this gift be enough to bring him victory, or is it simply the first step in a much larger journey? Take a gentle breath, feeling the power of this moment, like a spark flickering in the quiet night. What mysteries does this thunderbolt hold, waiting for the one brave enough to unleash it? In episode 8, The Awakening of Olympus, Zeus gathers his allies. Zeus realizes he cannot face his father alone. With the strength of his thunderbolt now in his grasp, he sets out to awaken Olympus, seeking allies who will stand by him in the coming storm. One by one, they gather, gods and goddesses who share his vision of a world freed from Cronus's rule, each one bringing their own unique strength. With each ally, Zeus's purpose grows clearer, yet the shadows of doubt still linger, for the challenge ahead is vast and the cost unknown. Breathe in deeply, feeling the steady unity of this gathering, like the first steps of a long journey. Who will answer the call? And what force could possibly stand against them? In episode 9, The Call to Arms, preparing for the Titanomacy, the time for preparation draws to a close. Zeus, now surrounded by allies and armed with his thunderbolt, stands on the edge of a great battle, the Titanomacy, which will determine the fate of gods and mortals alike. In the quiet before the storm, he reflects on the journey that has brought him here, the prophecies, the hidden years in Crete, and the allies who now stand beside him. And as he steps forward, he knows that there is no turning back. The call to arms rings out, and the world holds its breath, waiting for the clash that will echo across time. Breathe softly, feeling the anticipation of this moment, like the calm before thunder strikes. What will the cost of this battle be? And who will rise to claim victory? As we conclude these opening stories, let yourself sink into the quiet wonder of what lies ahead, each breath connecting you to the courage and mystery that surround these ancient tales. Now, let's take a final moment of relaxation, easing your body and mind into peace. Close your eyes and take a slow, deep breath in, letting calm fill your chest, as steady as the unbreakable strength of those who have answered the call. As you exhale, feel your body soften, each muscle releasing, grounding you in comfort. This is your time to unwind, to feel safe, and to be at ease. Let each breath carry you into a gentle rhythm, as soft as a whisper, as constant as the cycles of nature. Take another deep breath in, letting it fill you fully, and hold it softly for a moment. Then, as you exhale, feel any remaining tension melt away, leaving only warmth and tranquility. One more time, breathe in deeply, and as you exhale, feel yourself sinking further, calm and serene. Now, let's guide each part of the body to relax, embracing rest with every breath. Start with your forehead, allowing it to soften completely as you exhale. Move to your jaw, releasing any tightness, letting it rest gently. Now bring awareness to your shoulders. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, let them fall, as though releasing the weight of untold strength. Allow your arms and hands to grow heavy, resting peacefully by your sides. Notice the steady rise and fall in your chest and belly, inhaling as your belly rises, and on the exhale, releasing any last bits of tightness, feeling light and free. Shift your focus to your hips and thighs, letting them sink deeper into the bed, fully supported and relaxed. And finally, bring attention to your calves, feet, and toes, allowing them to release completely, grounded and calm. Now, imagine yourself upon the slopes of Olympus, where the night is still and the stars shimmer like ancient guardians watching over the unfolding of this timeless story. In the distance you see Zeus, his figure strong yet thoughtful, as he stands ready to face the trials ahead. The night is quiet, holding the strength of ages, a peaceful stillness before the dawn of a new era. With each breath, feel yourself surrounded by the calm of this sacred place, as though you too are part of this gathering, standing side by side with those who shape the future. Inhale deeply, letting the peace of this scene fill you, and exhale, feeling grounded, steady, and fully at ease. With your body relaxed and your mind open, allow the story to carry you into this world of unity, resilience, and timeless courage, where the greatest legends await. Take one last deep breath in and let it out softly. Now, let us begin. Emerging from the depths of Tartarus with the Cyclopes at his side, Zeus stood beneath an open sky, holding the gift they had crafted for him, a thunderbolt, alive with raw, crackling energy. Its brilliance was undeniable, casting a radiant glow across the heavens and vibrating with a strength unlike anything he had ever felt. As Zeus gazed upon the thunderbolt, he felt its power echo within him, an electric pulse that resonated with the very core of his being. It was as though the weapon recognized him, an extension of his own spirit, a force of nature bound to his destiny. This thunderbolt was not just a gift, it was a symbol of the divine justice he would wield and the battles he would face. The Cyclopes, masters of ancient power and wisdom, gathered around Zeus, ready to guide him in mastering his new gift. Brontes, the eldest of the Cyclopes, spoke with a voice deep as the rumble of a distant storm. This thunderbolt is forged from the primal elements of creation, bound by the essence of the sky and the strength of the earth. To wield it is to command the storm itself, Zeus, but it will obey only a heart true to its purpose. Zeus listened, his heart filled with both reverence and determination. He raised the thunderbolt skyward, feeling the skies respond, darkening as clouds gathered and winds began to swirl around him. He sensed the elements bending to his will, drawn to him not out of fear, but out of respect for the strength he embodied. With each movement, he became more attuned to the thunderbolt, learning to channel his intent, his passion, and his resolve into the weapon. It was as though the storm recognized his heart's purpose, aligning with his resolve to bring justice and light to a world long shrouded in his father's darkness. As Zeus practiced, the Cyclopes encouraged him to push the boundaries of his control, to test the thunderbolt's power and his own limits. With a fierce cry, Zeus summoned the strength within him, releasing a bolt of energy that tore through the sky, illuminating the clouds with a blinding flash. The sound of thunder rolled across the heavens, a force that reverberated through the mountains and valleys alike. The intensity of the lightning left the air charged, crackling with energy. Zeus felt exhilaration unlike anything he had known, a rush of power tempered by a deep sense of responsibility. For he understood now that this weapon was not just a tool of strength, it was a force meant to uphold the balance, to challenge the tyranny of those who wielded power unjustly. Remember, Zeus. Brontes reminded him as the echoes of thunder faded. Your strength lies not just in force, but in your heart's purpose. The thunderbolt will amplify what is within you, whether it be anger, courage, or compassion. Use it wisely. Zeus took these words to heart, recognizing that his power would only grow if his intentions remained true. He focused his mind, imagining the freedom of his siblings, bound in darkness within Cronus. He thought of the world beyond, longing for liberation from his father's reign. And as he did, the thunderbolt responded, its light growing brighter, its energy pulsing with a strength that matched the fire in his heart. The more he practiced, the more he felt the thunderbolt becoming a part of him, a manifestation of his will and his destiny. It became his voice in the skies, a roar of defiance against those who would oppress, and a beacon of hope for those waiting to be freed. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Zeus stood atop a mountain, thunderbolt in hand, and gazed out over the world stretched before him. In that moment, he glimpsed a vision of what could be, a world where Olympus was ruled by justice, where gods and mortals alike lived free from tyranny. He saw himself, not as a hidden child, but as a leader, standing against the shadows cast by Cronus. The vision filled him with a newfound clarity, a deeper understanding of the path he was meant to walk. His strength was not for conquest, but for liberation. The thunderbolt was his vow to the world, a promise to stand against the forces that threatened freedom and to bring balance to the cosmos. The Cyclopes watched him in silence, sensing that he was no longer simply wielding the thunderbolt, but embodying its purpose. They knew then that their choice had been right, that this young god was the one destined to bring light to the shadows. As Zeus prepared to leave, the Cyclopes gathered around him, each offering him words of wisdom and support. They reminded him of the strength he now possessed and the duty it carried. Brontes, with a hand on Zeus's shoulder, spoke softly. The path you walk will not be easy, but you carry with you the strength of the storm, the light of the heavens. Remember, Zeus, that you are never truly alone. The power of the thunderbolt is a reminder that we, too, stand with you. Zeus nodded, his gratitude evident as he embraced each of the Cyclopes in turn. With their guidance, he had found not only his power, but his purpose. He was ready to confront the darkness, to face the challenges awaiting him, and to lead the charge against his father's reign. As he stepped away, the thunderbolt hummed in his grasp, as if eager for the battles to come, for the dawn of a new age. And with each step forward, Zeus knew that his journey was no longer just about survival. It was about restoring balance to the heavens and fulfilling his destiny. With his allies behind him and the power of the thunderbolt alive in his hands, Zeus set out, his heart a steady drumbeat of purpose. The skies seemed to part for him, the clouds acknowledging the power he carried and the resolve that drove him. He was no longer a mere child of prophecy. He was a force born of hope and shaped by the promise of a brighter future. As Zeus left the realm of the Cyclopes, his spirit burned with a clarity he had never known. The first strike had been made, the first test passed. Now, he would continue his journey to Olympus, gathering allies and preparing for the great battle that would define the fate of gods and mortals alike. The world awaited its liberator, and Zeus was ready to answer that call. In the quiet after his training, as the night settled around him, Zeus looked up at the stars with a sense of gratitude for the strength he now possessed. The thunderbolt, a gift from the Cyclopes, had become a part of him, a reminder of his duty and the hope that filled his heart. He was ready to bring justice to the heavens, to challenge the forces that clung to power out of fear, and to restore the balance his father had shattered. This was just the beginning of his journey, a first step on a path lined with trials, allies, and challenges that would test every fiber of his being. But Zeus, the bearer of the thunderbolt, was undaunted. He knew now that he was the storm, and he would carry this light into the heart of darkness. The journey to Olympus begins as Zeus sets out to gather allies for the impending war against Cronus. Join us in the next episode as Zeus's power grows and he unites those who share his vision, preparing to bring a new dawn to the realm of gods. In a world where destiny and despair weave together like shadows at dusk, Cronus ruled supreme. The Titan king, draped in power and surrounded by dread, sat upon a throne carved from the bones of the earth, a monolithic seat of darkness casting long, haunted shadows that stretched across the land. The air was thick and damp, a breath of ancient fears. Here, in the cold and unyielding fortress of his reign, Cronus's heart and mind were haunted by a prophecy that clung to him like a shroud. It was a prophecy he could neither escape nor ignore. "Beware, Cronus," whispered the oracle's voices, dripping with ominous certainty. For one day, your own child shall rise against you, overthrowing your reign and bringing an end to your power. This chilling foresight coiled within his thoughts, sparking an ever-growing paranoia in his heart. What he once saw as his unbreakable power now felt like glass, fragile enough to shatter at the faintest breath of the prophecy. His rule would no longer be a certainty, and his throne no longer invincible. The tendrils of fear gripped Cronus tightly, as relentless as the passing of time. The prophecy to him was no mere warning. It was a call to action, a summons to preserve his dominion by any means necessary. The throne room, usually a symbol of his reign, became a prison of his own making, echoing with the whispers of his dark resolve. Each child he had devoured became a reminder of his iron will, an act that bound his fate tighter to his own fears. With each swallow, he sealed away another life, one of his own blood, within the depths of darkness. Cronus's heart hardened with each sacrifice, and with it, his resolve turned steely. Every child born to him would face the same fate. They would be taken into the dark before they ever saw the light. So, bound by dread and fortified by fear, Cronus encased himself in an impenetrable armor of power, every shadow cloaking him in an aura that no mortal or god could penetrate. In the depths of Cronus's cruelty, a silent sorrow grew in his wife, Rhea. As the titaness of motherhood, Rhea bore the weight of each loss in silence, each child's fate marking a wound upon her heart. With every devouring, Cronus's heart grew colder, but Rhea's spirit grew restless, yearning to defy this destiny of despair. In the quiet moments of the night, when darkness fell upon their kingdom, Rhea turned her gaze toward the stars. Her voice trembled as she whispered her plea into the void. Grant me the strength to save my children, to preserve what remains of my love. Unknown to her, the very stars she beseeched began to shift in response, weaving the threads of fate into a new tapestry. Destiny, it seemed, was aligning to prepare for a conflict that would shake even the heavens. Then, at last, Zeus was born. A dawn light spilled through the palace, cutting through the darkness that had lingered for so long, filling Rhea with a fierce hope she had not known in years. She wrapped her child in cloth spun from starlight, a precious being marked by destiny, and vowed that he would escape Cronus's shadow. With purpose in her heart, Rhea fled, carrying her infant to the far edge of the world. She sought refuge on the island of Crete, where the salty sea breeze caressed her face, promising sanctuary and safety. Within Crete's hidden grottos, she found solace. She discovered a cave far from Cronus's reach, adorned with crystals and vibrant wildflowers, where Zeus could be nurtured and shielded from his father's wrath. In this secret world, Rhea entrusted her child to the care of nymphs who welcomed her, and under the watchful eye of Crete, Zeus would grow, undisturbed by the terrors of Cronus's reign. This sanctuary would become his cradle, and from this place he would one day rise to fulfill the prophecy. In the lush chamber of the cave, Rhea laid Zeus on a bed of soft moss, a cradle woven by nature itself. The air within was rich with the scents of wild flowers, and the gentle hum of the nymphs surrounded him, a chorus of protectors and guides. They watched over the young god, laughing and singing, their voices weaving stories and lore into the fabric of his being. The nymphs nurtured his spirit, instilling in him a connection to the world and a strength that grew each day. Every tale they shared, every lesson they imparted, became a thread in the tapestry of his life, fortifying him for the trials that awaited him. He grew within their care, not just as a child, but as the bearer of a destiny that would shape the heavens. Yet, even within this sanctuary, whispers of fate lingered. Zeus felt the stirring of power within him, a flickering light that grew brighter each day. The nymphs, knowing of the prophecy that foretold his rise, often spoke of it as they watched him grow. "You are destined for greatness, young one," a nymph would say, her voice a soothing balm. But with such power comes a great responsibility. One day, you must rise to challenge the darkness that seeks to consume all you love. These words, planted like seeds in his heart, began to grow, igniting a flame within him that burned brighter with each passing day. Courage and defiance took root, preparing him for the darkness he would one day face. For Zeus was not merely a child of divine lineage, he was the embodiment of hope, a light born to pierce through Cronus's shadow. As Zeus grew, the shadows of Cronus loomed ever larger in his dreams. The cries of his siblings, trapped within their father's belly, haunted his sleep, urging him to embrace his destiny. Though shielded from the tyrant's reach, Zeus felt the weight of his family's suffering and the pull of a battle not yet fought. In time, he would confront the darkness that had taken them, forging a path to reclaim the future stolen by Cronus. The prophecy foretold of his rise, but also of the challenges that awaited him, a complex weave of alliances, betrayals, and trials that would reshape the very fabric of existence. As the sun set over Crete, casting long shadows across the grove, Rhea's heart swelled with both hope and fear. She had given her son a chance to escape the clutches of Cronus, but she knew that this was only the beginning. The road ahead was lined with challenges, each one a step toward the destiny that awaited him. Thus began the saga of Zeus, a god born from love, nurtured in hope, and destined to challenge the very foundations of the cosmos. His journey was only beginning, a path of trials that would forge him into a hero. As Zeus grows, preparing to one day confront his father's shadow, the fates of his siblings hang in the balance. What horrors await those still trapped within the belly of Cronus? Will Zeus's power be enough to free them? Join us in the next episode as this epic saga unfolds, revealing the tale of loss and determination, and a fierce desire to reclaim what has been taken. Standing at the highest peak of Olympus, Zeus gazed across the land that stretched endlessly beneath him. As a cold wind swept over the mountain, he felt the weight of all that had brought him to this moment. From his hidden childhood in the cave on Crete, to the powerful allies gathered around him now, each memory strengthened his resolve, binding him closer to his purpose. He recalled the whispers of prophecy that had haunted his father Cronus, the prophecy that foretold of a child who would rise to overthrow him. Zeus could still feel the warmth of Amalthea's soft fur as she nurtured him, the taste of honey offered by Melissa, and the wisdom gifted by the nymphs who had first instilled in him the ideals of courage and compassion. It was in those quiet, hidden moments that he had first discovered his strength. Then the journey into Tartarus flashed in his mind, how he had freed the Cyclopes and received the Thunderbolt, a weapon unlike any other, a symbol of his power and destiny. He had gathered allies along the way, each bound to him not only by loyalty, but by a shared desire to bring justice to the cosmos. Together, they had forged the alliance of Olympus, a force of gods and titans alike, ready to face Cronus and the titans in the name of freedom and balance. Now Zeus understood that he had become not just the child of prophecy, but a leader of a cause far greater than himself. He looked at his allies, each one strong and resolute, and felt a surge of pride. The journey had been long, but they were ready. As Zeus prepared for the battle to come, he stood alongside his closest allies. Prometheus, wise and compassionate, offered strategic counsel. Cronus is powerful, but his power is ruled by fear, he said. We, however, are united by a purpose greater than any of us alone. We are bound by our commitment to a future without tyranny. Poseidon, his trident at his side, stood tall, embodying the strength of the ocean's fury, his resolve as vast and unyielding as the seas. Hades, calm and somber, brought with him the strength of shadows and the silent resolve of those who had faced darkness and come through stronger. Hera, radiant with fierce determination, her voice steady, declared, "Our time has come." No longer will Cronus's shadow bind the world. We will stand together as family and as protectors of Olympus. Demeter, her face a mixture of sorrow and defiance, spoke of the new growth and life they would bring once Cronus's reign ended. She represented not just a goddess of the harvest, but a promise of a world that would flourish free from fear. Hestia, embodying the spirit of unity, stepped forward, placing a hand over her heart as she vowed to uphold the light of hope. She turned to Zeus, her expression both proud and resolute. The hearth fires will burn brightly once more, she said, illuminating a world free of oppression, where even mortals may live in peace. Each god and goddess present pledge their power, their strength, and their lives to the battle that lay ahead. Together they represented a force capable of challenging the Titans themselves, a unity Cronus could never hope to understand. With their alliances strengthened, Zeus and his companions began to plan the strategy that would guide them in the coming war. The Titanomacy, the war between the Olympian gods and the Titans, would be a conflict of unimaginable scale, a clash that would shake the foundations of existence. The Cyclopes, freed by Zeus and grateful for their liberty, began crafting powerful weapons for each of the Olympians, ensuring they would face the Titans with strength equal to their courage. Prometheus, who knew Cronus's habits and defenses well, shared insights into the weaknesses of the Titans, noting how Cronus relied on intimidation to keep others loyal. His rule is brittle, he said, for it is built on fear and control. Ours is a bond of trust and hope, which makes us stronger than he realizes. The Cyclops presented Zeus with armor forged from the stars themselves, a radiant shield that shimmered with celestial light, symbolizing the strength and resilience of Olympus. To Poseidon, they crafted a trident that could command the very seas, an extension of his power and an emblem of his commitment to his brother's cause. For Hades, they fashioned a helm that would allow him to pass unseen, giving him dominion over shadows and the ability to strike from places unseen. As each god received their weapons, they felt a surge of power, their divine abilities magnified by the gifts of the Cyclopes. This was no longer just a gathering. It was a force of gods, unified and prepared to confront the Titans in a battle for the ages. With the last preparations complete, Zeus and his allies stood together under the vast sky, each of them aware of the magnitude of what lay ahead. They raised their weapons, a silent oath shared among them, a promise to stand together no matter the outcome. They were united by a purpose far greater than any individual struggle, a vision of a world freed from fear, where justice and balance would reign. The sky above them darkened, lightning flashing across the heavens as if to mark the start of the battle. Thunder rolled, not as a threat but as a declaration, an answer to their collective resolve. Zeus raised the thunderbolt, its light illuminating the faces of his allies, each one shining with determination. Together, they would face the wrath of Cronus and his titans, and together they would bring forth a new age. At dawn, Zeus led his allies from the heights of Olympus, their approach a testament to their unity and strength. As they neared the Titan's stronghold, the earth itself seemed to tremble, the world holding its breath for the battle that would reshape its destiny. Cronus, seated upon his dark throne, sensed the power rising against him, a force beyond anything he had ever anticipated. The Titans gathered around him, their faces filled with both anticipation and unease, for they too could feel the shift in the air, the arrival of a strength not born of fear, but of courage and justice. The first strike came like a clap of thunder, Zeus unleashing the might of his thunderbolt with a force that split the skies. The light of Olympus met the shadows of the Titans in a clash that echoed across the cosmos, the beginning of a battle that would test every ounce of their strength and resolve. The war raged for days, each clash of power shaking the heavens, each strike forging the future of Olympus. Zeus and his allies fought side by side, their unity unbreakable, their spirits strengthened by their shared vision. Poseidon commanded the seas, Hades wielded the shadows, Hera and Demeter unleashed their divine fury, and Prometheus's wisdom guided their strategy. Together, they became a force that even the Titans struggled to withstand. Cronus fought with all his might, his fury unmatched, but he faced an alliance driven by a purpose far greater than his own. The gods of Olympus, bound by their love for each other and the hope of a new era, pushed the Titans back, bit by bit, reclaiming the light that Cronus had sought to bury in darkness. At last, with a final strike of his thunderbolt, Zeus faced Cronus. The clash between father and son was as fierce as the storm itself, a battle that would define the fate of the cosmos. In that moment, the prophecy was fulfilled, the balance of power shifting as Zeus, with the strength of his allies beside him, triumphed over Cronus. With Cronus defeated, the Titans fell, their reign brought to an end. The world that had been shaped by fear now stood ready for a new era, one guided by the gods who had fought not for power, but for justice. Zeus and his allies had fulfilled their oath, reclaiming Olympus and restoring the balance that Cronus had disrupted. The battle was over, but the journey was only beginning. They had won the right to rule, but their responsibilities had only just begun. Together, they would build Olympus, a realm of order and harmony, a home for gods who would guide the world with wisdom and compassion. In the aftermath of the Titanomacy, Zeus and his allies gathered once more on the heights of Olympus, this time as its rightful rulers. The mountain that had once been a place of mystery now became the seat of divine power, a sanctuary where the gods would guide and protect the world below. Zeus looked upon his allies, each of them a pillar of strength, wisdom, and courage. He knew that their bond, forged in the fires of battle, would endure as they shaped the future together. They had not just won a war, they had earned a home, a legacy that would be remembered for ages to come. And so, the reign of Olympus began, a new age dawning under the guidance of Zeus, the god who had risen from hidden child to the king of gods, bound by a promise to protect and nurture the world. But peace in Olympus was only the beginning. Though the Titans had been defeated, new challenges awaited. To secure his throne, Zeus would face new battles and make difficult choices as forces both divine and mortal tested the strength of his rule. Join us in the next series where Zeus solidifies his power, encounters treacherous foes, and ultimately claims his place as the king of Olympus. The journey is far from over, and the gods of Olympus will face trials that will shape their legacy in ways yet unseen. While our tales tonight have drawn to a gentle end, the stars above Olympus still hold countless mysteries, each waiting to be shared under a quiet night sky. We'll gather here again soon to journey through the stories of other gods and legends, stories that remind us of resilience, transformation, and the beauty woven into the fabric of life. For now, let's transition to stillness, guiding you into a place of deep rest. Let this be a time of pure relaxation, where you can release each thought and allow your mind to settle. Close your eyes if you haven't already, and take a slow, deep breath in, letting calm expand within you. And as you exhale, release any lingering tension, letting it drift away like clouds, clearing from a quiet sky. Now, bring your awareness to the rhythm of your breath. Each inhale, filling you with peace. Each exhale, drawing you deeper into comfort. Breathe in deeply, feeling warmth spread through your chest, and hold it softly for just a moment. And as you exhale, feel yourself sink further, fully supported, calm, and serene. Now imagine a soft golden light at the top of your head, like a gentle warmth that invites relaxation. With each breath, let that light flow down, releasing tension from your forehead and eyes, letting your jaw soften. Feel the warmth continue down to your neck and shoulders. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, allow your shoulders to drop, as though setting down the weight of all that has come before. Let the golden light spread gently through your arms, down to your fingertips, feeling them grow heavy, relaxed, and still. Notice the gentle rise and fall in your chest and belly, inhaling as your belly rises and as you exhale, releasing any remaining tension, feeling light and free. Shift your focus to your hips and thighs, letting them sink deeply into the bed, fully supported and relaxed. Now, feel the warmth move down to your knees, calves, ankles, and finally to your feet and toes, letting each part release, grounded, calm, and at ease. With every breath, let go a little more, letting yourself be embraced by the gentle quiet of this moment, as though you too are a part of the timeless story of night and stars. Inhale deeply, feeling peace expand through you, and exhale, settling into a space of deep, serene rest. Let this be your time to drift off into sleep, to find comfort and calm in the quiet of your heart. Take one last deep breath in, and as you exhale, feel yourself float into a peaceful slumber. Rest well, and we'll return to these stories when next we meet. Good night.